Welcome, welcome. Meeting with Hagrid. Don't worry, you came to the right person. You did. I won't let you down. Please do let me know as soon as you have acquired the item I have requested. That sounded serious. Is everything alright? There you are. You have got perfect timing, if I do say so myself. Professor Dumbledore has come to me with a very important matter that needs tending to. Great man that Professor Dumbledore is. Let's feed Fan and I will explain. So, if I'm hearing you correctly, Professor Dumbledore has asked you to find him a new quill. A very important quill for a very important book that belongs to him. As you saw, he's come to ask the favor of me personally. I hate to let him down. Best not to discuss it here, what with pioneers and all. The Fan. But if it's the book that I think the good professor is referring to, its most important book, the whole future of Hogwarts could be at stake. I'll need to find a replacement quill straight away. A special book deserves a special quill. One that doesn't require any ink and comes from the feather of a rare and mysterious magical beast, the Augurey. You need to find the feather of an Augurey. How exciting. Will you help me? Of course, I'll do it for you, Hagrid. You truly are a good friend. I knew I could count on you. As it just happens, I actually know an Augurey that might be able to lend us such a feather. Hey Liz, what are you doing here? I was just taking Sir Rabbithy out for a little stroll. He tends to get a little cooped up in the Slytherin common room all day. What are you doing here? It's not every day I run into you. I'm helping Hagrid find an Augurey feather, so I came to visit my Augurey. You are friends with an Augurey? Isn't it? They really are quite striking. I've never seen one up close before. Well, then today's your lucky day. Come on out, wherever you are. What a beautiful creature, and not all as sad and mournful as I was expecting. Why were you expecting it to be sad? Surely you have heard the old tales? No, I don't believe that. It's probably just an old superstition people tell to make children scared. But just in case you're right, I'm glad that Augurey is in a good mood today, which brings me back to the current task at hand. How am I supposed to get a feather from this Augurey without making it upset? The last thing I'd ever want is to hurt my new friend. After talking it through, I know exactly how to get a feather without disrupting my new Augurey friend. There's bound to be a feather just laying around. There's only one problem though. Our very shy and reclusive animal creatures, and getting Augurey to lead us to its nest will not be easy. Not until we have truly bonded with the creature. Augurey is my friend, and I don't want it to think we are taking advantage. Oh, good, you're here. Now we can get started researching to bond with your Augurey, judging by how these open books, it appears you have already begun a head start. As a matter of fact, I learned one interesting piece of information. That's just a misconception. As it turns out, the only thing that an augury cry foretells is the rain. It's good to confirm that if augury ever were to cry, it wouldn't mean certain death. Do my ears deceive me? Do I hear a frog croak from somewhere in this general direction? What you heard was just me clearing my throat. You sound so foggy. I recommend a spot of tea with honey. Thank you for the advice. I think I'll do just that later. That was a close one. Truth, thanks for covering for me and covering for Sir Ribbithy. We'd better do what we came here to do. After reading all these books about auguries, I think I know how to bond with augury. Since an augury's diet consists of insects, flies, and fairies, we should take augury out hunting for a meal. If we act like part of your augury's flock, maybe it will treat us like a part of its flock. And then hopefully it will feel comfortable enough to lead us to its nest. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you sound even worse when you arrived. Perhaps you should visit Madame Pomfrey in the hospital, and that's a good idea. Thank you for your excellent advice. I believe that we have outstayed our welcome here. Hey, Madame Pince is caring though. It wasn't like she was rude or anything. You're back, and it's time you brought some friends. I haven't been able to get an augury feather for you yet, but I'm making progress with my new friend. This is my augury. We are trying to make it comfortable enough to lead us to the extra feather in its nest, so we were hoping to take it hunting for a meal. We read that auguries like to eat insects and fairies. The pumpkin patch is swarming with bugs. Thanks, Hagrid. I know I can always count on you. Well, I suppose it's time you went hunting for your meal, innit? Something's wrong. There are plenty of bugs and fairies to hunt here in the garden. Isn't catching anything because it appears to be unable to fly. I've noticed that myself, and I must admit it's a bit troubling. I'm confident we'll be able to figure this out quickly and get a feather from augury soon, but before I can do that, I need to find a way to get this augury up in the air. You should go pay a visit to Professor Kettlebone. Perhaps he will be able to help. That's a great idea. I'll take Augury over to see him right away. I really hope Professor Kettlebone is able to help us figure out. Your Augury struggled to catch those fairies. They really made me worry. I wonder, could Augury be hurt? That's only a possibility, although as far as I can tell, she didn't seem to be anything wrong with it. It's always a pleasure to see my students engaging in extracurricular projects. Just look at that stunning creature you have brought with me. Not to mention quite a bit tamer than the centipede you introduced me to a while back. Far less dangerous than wrangling a loose chimera. Something tells me this isn't just a cordial visit. We think it may be hot and could really use your professional opinion. I will hold my tongue until I have had a chance to conduct the examination. Alright, I've finished my examination and now I can say that my hypothesis has been confirmed. What have you determined? Just as I suspected, there was absolutely nothing wrong with your augury, but how is that possible? If that's true, why is an augury able to fly? Contrary to popular misconceptions, Cry has the ability to predict the rain. As it just so happens, we did know that. Never actually believed in the misconception that auguries' cries are omen of death. But we did just recently learn about the ability to forecast the rain. Very good. I'm glad you're continuing to learn about creatures, even outside of my classroom. I'm confused. What does this have anything to do with the ability to fly? Evolutional purpose behind the augury's odd cry. These unusual creatures can only fly when it's raining. You're saying that if we want to lead us to its nest, we'll have to wait for the appropriate weather. As Hagrid said, we are on urgent business for Professor Dumbledore, and we can't afford to just wait for rain. We can create our own rain right here at Hogwarts. An enchanted rainstorm, that's a wonderful idea. I wonder if Professor Spout would allow us to create one in the herbology classroom. Let's head over there now and see if we can persuade her. Hello, Professor Spout, and I don't believe I have yet to acquainted with you. Just in case you've forgotten, not magical creature reserve. I'm well aware of that, which brings us to the reason we're here. I'm helping Hagrid with a very important assignment for Professor Dumbledore. I need to create an enchanted rainstorm in order to get this augury to fly. We were wondering if you may help us create one here in the greenhouse. Professor Dumbledore and Hagrid need our help, and so does Augurey. And here at Hogwarts, we always help our friends in need. As a professor, and even before that, as a student myself, I couldn't have stated it more perfectly myself. Does that mean you'll agree to help us? I've decided that I will help you. I agree to cast your rainstorm, but before I'm able to do that, there's something that I need your help with first. I'm having a bit of trouble lately in regards to some other beings with an ominous cry. My mandrakes, flesh-eating slugs keep eating them, and I need to use the slug repellent to drive the pest away. You got yourself a deal. That should take care of the flesh-eating slug problem. Indeed, thank you for your assistance. Now that my problem has been solved, let's go solve yours. Listen to that cry. Augurey can sense that it's about to rain. Now let's just hope Professor Celeborn was right about everything. Metallo Jinx. What a weird, what a weird thing. It's walking my Augurey is really flying. I'm so proud of you. It's giving you one of its feathers. It's perfect, and we didn't even need to follow it all the way to its nest. Your bond with the creature is so strong at this point. Now that we finally have the feather, let's give it to Hagrid. We are back and we have splendid news. Augurey gave us its feather. I knew all along you could do it. Now that is a beautiful feather if I say so myself. Do you think Professor Dumbledore will like it? We'll make a perfect quill for Professor Dumbledore's special book. But don't just take me word for it. You can ask the great man himself. And I see you are joined by Mr. Dane and Miss Tuttle as well. You have been helping Hagrid find a new quill for you. Precisely the matter I came to visit you about. I believe we have, all thanks to Darkos, of course. An Augurey feather, this is really quite exquisite. You must have gone to great lengths to acquire this rare and precious item for me. It was all quite simple once we figured out how to make this Augurey fly. Your modesty is commendable. However, you and I both know that acquiring this feather is not so easy feat. Well, Mr. Dane, after hearing your story, it has become abundantly clear that you have exceeded even my wildest expectations. I must tell you that unfortunately this feather is not suitable for replacement. It's not. You told me yourself that you need a special quill for a very important book. Did you think that I was asking you to replace the quill of acceptance? You may not have heard of it. It's a powerful and precious object that keeps the very heart of Hogwarts beating. It's no wonder you thought the whole future of Hogwarts was in jeopardy. That if the colour of acceptance were to stop working, the future of the school would be most perceptious. Fortunately for us, that was not the case. The important book to which I was referring to is my diary. When I asked you for a replacement quill, I assumed you would simply go to Flourish and Blots to pick one up. Your efforts here were not in vain. In fact, quite the opposite. What do you mean by that? Think of the friendship forged over the course of this mishap. So, Ribbithy wouldn't have met Augurey either. And while I already considered you a friend, you've proven the lengths you'll go for me. As usual, things once again have a way of turning out exactly as they should be. Andre, you look awful. Good to know I look as bad as I feel. What happened? I'll try to fill you in. So, Brennan Doyle, a backup player on the Quidditch team, sabotaged you. He used to be one of the starting lineups, but got bumped down to the substitute roster when I joined the team. Are you sure it was him? You do have a lot of enemies. I'm positive I saw him fly by in the corner of my eye. Unfortunately, he's about to the last thing I did see. My eyes have been swollen ever since. Getting blinded startled me so badly I fell off my broom. Andre, you should go to the hospital and no, if I tell Madame Pomfrey, she'll force me to rest until I recover. I understand you don't want to risk not being able to play in an important match. It's not like I let anything stop me from getting what I want to do. I'd rather not talk about it, just know that what it is. You can barely move without wincing, and you can hardly even see. More than you know, I'm happy to do what I can, but try to discreetly ask for her help. You mentioned you had something you wished to discuss, Madame Pomfrey. There's no one at Hogwarts who's better at healing magic than you. There's so much we could learn from you. It's a shame you don't teach your own class. I appreciate the flattery, but I'm a busy woman. I was hoping you'd teach me how to cure the conjunctivitis curse. Why, might I ask, do you want to know how to cure the conjunctivitis curse? I asked to heal someone who was hit with the conjunctivitis curse. Can't say, need I remind you, healing magic is often difficult and best left to well-performed hands. If done incorrectly, you may end up permanently blinding this poor fellow. Understand? I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important. If anyone can teach me, it's you. Even those done with the best intentions can still cause irreparable damage. Still, you have proven yourself to be a skilled student and have done well assisting me in the past. Very well, I'll teach you the potion. It seemed the group of Force-Use neglected to use their earmuffs during the Mandrake lessons. So, the Oculus potion is the best way to cure the conjunctivitis. Yes, the Oculus potion restores the drinker's sight, countering any damage done to their vision. I'd teach you how to brew one myself, but as you can see, I'm quite busy. You look terrible, thanks. I've been getting that a lot lately. It's actually why I asked you to comment. Andre's been affected by the conjunctivitis curse and can barely see. I learned the Oculus potion recipe from Madame Pomfrey, but to boot, I need a potion expert's help. I'm far from an expert, but I'm happy to help, especially since you have enough to deal with already. I asked for your advice about that in private. What's Penny talking about, Andre? Is something wrong with your grandmother? My eyes really hurt. We should probably get started before the conjunctivitis gets worse. If we work together, I'm sure we'll be able to brew a successful Oculus potion. And there you have it. I hope it works. There's only one way to find out. Ah! Oh no, Andre. What's with that look? And here I thought my fashion advice was finally starting to rub off on you. Lack of it has me feeling not ill all over again. Now I'm sure he's feeling better, but I really am grateful. I hate to ask you for even more help, but I may be asking for your advice again soon. I remember when I said I might ask for your help again. Well, this is me asking. What's wrong? You will be able to play in the Quidditch match now, yes, but whatever the two of you are discussing is important. Important. What is that? Oh, so I suggest you listen and take notes. We better do as he says. Now that class is over, what did you want to ask? The more I think about it, the more I realize that I can't let Bonnie and Dooley get away with sabotaging me. I'll be able to play in the next match, but it doesn't feel right to let him go unpunished. Now, what do you think I should do about Brendan Dooley? He hurt you. You can't let him get away with that. That's the catty side of me. Hoping you'd say that. I even had a plan in mind that we can use to pay Dolly back for everything he did to me. I know how to get revenge without getting caught, but in order for it to work, I'm going to need your help. Besides, you did enable me. Great. I'll fill you in there. Good, you're here. That means my plan for revenge can begin. Keep Brendan Doley distracted while I try tend to his broom. His favorite subject is himself, so as long as you keep feeding his ego, I doubt he would even notice a rampage in Joel. Quick, he's coming. Get ready to distract him. What are you doing here? I reserved the train guy in his practice. I'm going to be on the starting lineup after all. I'm a bit of a fan, you see. Why not? I always have time for fun. Did you get everything you needed that could keep going? I'm sure you could. Just what I heard a group of the first year Ravenclaw mention you in the Great Hall. I'm sure they would love to meet you. Did the revenge plan work? We'll find out in the next time he uses his broom. I imbued his broom with a hole in hex. When he tries to fly it, instead of doing what he says, he'll try to throw him off. Isn't that dangerous? If his broom throws him off while he's high up, he could get really hurt. I agreed he deserved to have a trick played on him, but don't you think this may be taking it a bit too far? I know what I'm doing. You're worrying too much. God damn. Good, you're here. You mentioned you were going to tell me what happened with you and Brendan Doyle. My revenge plan played as well as I had hoped. During the recent practice, Doyle got on his broom and went flying, but thanks to the hole in hex, the broom didn't come with him. That's what I was worried about. Did he get hurt? His broom wasn't far off the ground when it threw him off, so he didn't have far to fall. You were lucky. You could have really hurt him. This was a one-time thing. I don't plan on using the hole in hex ever again. So does he suspect you are the one who did it to his broom? He hasn't said anything to me or Professor either. Looks like Doyle won't bother me again, and I'm still going to play in the upcoming Quidditch match. Thanks for going along with my scheme. I didn't want to talk about it because it's very personal, but you have really tried to help me, so I'll tell you about my grandma. had no idea your grandmother used to be a professional Quidditch player, so she's the one who taught you to play, and even though she's ill, she's promised to watch my next Quidditch match. This might be pessimistic of me. I'm worried she may not have much time left. I want her to watch one of my Quidditch matches so I can show her how much she's taught me. But thanks to you, she's going to see me play. Please, I want to take this. And not just because your wardrobe could be spruced up. It's my good luck charm. I feel like I have all the good luck I'll ever need, so I want you to have it. I know we haven't spent a lot of time together until now, but thanks to all this, I feel closer to you than ever. If you are ever in trouble or need my help, let me know. We'll catch you next time.